Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book of poetry, history and a thought for the day. All in one book. Here it is, a hardcover version. Makes a very nice Christmas present, I think. Beautiful cream pages, nicely laid out. On this day, in 1918, the Russian writer Aleksandr Solzhenitsyn was born. He's still a famous name. He fought in World War II, but fairly soon after he was arrested for making disparaging remarks about Stalin. Not a good thing to do. He spent 8 years in a prison camp, a gulag, as a result. And later on, he was exiled in Kazakhstan, where he was diagnosed with cancer. All this provided first-hand material for several of his books, especially the Gulag Archipelago, One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich, and Cancer Ward. His writing is notable for his underlying sort of strength of the human spirit in adversity, and his brutal realism is amazing, unforgettable. He describes, for example, the joy of a prisoner in a gulag on finding a piece of actual cabbage floating in his watery soup. Today's poem is written by another person who spent time in prison, but a very different sort. Oscar Wilde, who at the end of the 19th century famously was imprisoned for unnatural behavior. Homosexuality was a crime in those days, and Oscar Wilde spent time in Reading Gaol. When he came out, he wrote this very moving ballad of Reading Gaol, not about himself, about a fellow prisoner who was hanged for killing his unfaithful wife. Oscar Wilde wrote some very beautiful poetry, I think, as well as his very fine plays. He wasn't just a seeker after pleasure. Here we are, the Ballad of Reading Gaol, just an extract. In Reading Gaol there lies a man, there is a pit of shame, and in it lies a wretched man, eaten by teeth of flame. In a burning winding sheet he lies, and his grave has got no name. And there till Christ call forth the dead, in silence let him lie. The man had killed the thing he loved, and so he had to die. And all men kill the thing they love. By all let this be heard. Some do it with a bitter look, some with a flattering word. The coward does it with a kiss, the brave man with a sword. Some people think Oscar Wilde is just a bit of a flaneur, superficial sort of writer, but actually he wrote some very deep and profound stuff too. I like his writing very much. Today I ask, I that may remain steadfast and strong throughout whatever remains of my life. Thank you for listening.